Welcome to Times of India. I am Akash Das Gupta. Joining me is Sanjeev Singh, and today we will be looking back a little bit at what happened on day one in the Birmingham Test, which is being played right now between India and England, and also look ahead to what we can expect in when it comes to day two. So, Sanjeev, as far as day one was concerned, the man who really shone for India was Ravichandran Ashwin. He's the only spinner that the Indians are playing in this match. And what a performance, 4 for 60.
Yeah, and it was quite unexpected in the sense that, people were expecting the Pacers to do the job. And that is why the team management decided to just go with one spinner. Now, in hindsight, there is this feeling, a growing feeling that maybe, India should have played a Kuldeep Yadav, who had done well in the one-day series.
One more spinner perhaps would have helped.
Yeah, but... at the time, Akash, tell us when the partnership was going on between Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow. That's the time when one actually felt that England perhaps could have run away with the game at that time.
Absolutely. As far as day one is concerned, what was fantastic to see, Sanjeev, was the way that India managed to come back into the match. Every time it looked like England might run away with things. As you mentioned, that partnership was looking very, very crucial, of course. But what broke it was that fantastic direct throw from the skipper himself, Virat Kohli, from deep mid-wicket that ran Joe Root out for 80. But going back to Ravichandran Ashwin, and we'll talk about that run out as well a little bit more. Ashwin, of course, claimed 4 for 60 on day one, Sanjeev. Very interestingly, England, of course, 9 wickets down. India need 1 more wicket to bowl them out on day 2. And Ashwin now is 1 wicket away from becoming the first Indian spinner to complete a 5-4 against England since 2002.
That speaks volumes of the kind of, skill that Ravichandran Ashwin has shown. And I particularly love the way in which he got Alistair Cook out. Someone who scored that many number of runs and just failed to read that ball from Ravichandran Ashwin.
Absolutely. So Ashwin, what he's proving yet again is that he is India's premier spinner. Remember, there have been a few question marks, perhaps if I can use that term, over Ashwin's future. He is someone who doesn't really feature in India's limited over squads anymore, but he's proving that when it comes to Test cricket at least, he is definitely India's premier spinner. But let's talk about that run out again that we were talking about earlier, where Joe Root was run out. He dived in, but that throw was just too good from Virat Kohli. The way he turned around and threw the ball, and it was a direct hit, and that wicket, Sanjeev, was very, very important from India's perspective because the English skipper was looking very good.
Yeah, in fact, there were so many chances, close calls that, India had, but they were all going England's way. And perhaps that could have been playing on the mind of both the players at that time. It was such a lovely partnership for England at that time, and the way, as you said, the way he turned around and threw. In fact, Ravichandran Ashwin didn't even collect the ball at that time, and he just went on to hit the stumps.
Right, absolutely. And if you look at overall the way the day panned out for both teams, England going from 216 for 3 to 285 for 9. So that really tells you the story about how well the visitors have come back into this match. Remember, very interestingly, when Virat lost the toss on day one and England decided to bat, he said he's happy because he wanted to go in and bowl, and now he will feel vindicated because the India's got England 9 down.
And especially that throw which got Joe Root run out, coming from the captain himself. So perhaps that also set the tone for the Indian team. The sort of morale just went up, and then they went for the kill after that.
Absolutely. When it comes to Virat Kohli, of course, he is by far, hands down, the most inspirational figure as far as Indian cricket is concerned currently. And the lead, the skipper again leading from the front, showing what he can do. He is one of the best fielders that international cricket has right now. He could be called the fittest cricketer in the world as well, and he proved that yet again with that fantastic run out, Sanjeev.
And Akash, what about this picture? After he got Joe Root run out. That sort of attitude that Virat Kohli, puts on the field, that aggression.
Absolutely. The mic drop gesture, of course, is something that everyone's talking about. Virat Kohli is someone who has learned that he does not really need to say too much on the field to silence the opposition and his critics, but he remembers things. Remember, the mic drop gesture was something that Joe Root also had done when England won the ODI series against India. Virat remembered that, and then this is his response to that, of course.
Yeah, that's payback time. Also talking about, pacers, Mohammad Shami, when he started his spell, he looked a bit off color, but, then I think that nippiness came back in a bit later.
Well, Mohammad Shami, it's fantastic to see the way he has performed so far, because he is someone, again, few question marks over him. His form had declined. He, of course, went through a very tough time when it came to his personal life off the field. But he has shown that he can be quite a handful as a pacer. His figures were 2 for 64. He, of course, took the wickets of Jennings and Malan. And the way he's bounced back, that, of course, was very good to see as far as India is concerned. 2 for 64 on day one.
Yeah, but Shami, Shami and Bhuvnesh Kumar, if I can just digress a bit, they're, they're very injury prone. So you've got to actually conserve these players and use them. You see a good performance from one of them, and then you see that they're out in the next match because they've pulled or strained something.
Well, that is something that, of course, the team management has to keep a very close eye on. Another person who really fell into that category earlier was someone like an Umesh Yadav, but he has managed to physically build himself up in a way that he is not very injury prone anymore. With Shami, of course, you have to make sure that both mentally and physically he's 100%.
But it will be a big boost for the Indian team and for Shami himself, as you said, coming back, coming good after so many setbacks in his personal life and through the injuries that he's been through. Akash, what about today? One more wicket to go. Who will be the key players for India on day 2?
Well, just one wicket left, as you mentioned, as far as Team England is concerned. And Shikhar Dhawan, all eyes perhaps will be on him because he will come out to open for India. Remember, he's someone who scored 2 ducks, a pair, in the warm-up match against Essex. So again, the critics are up in arms and they are saying, really, does Shikhar Dhawan, deserve a place in the Test team? The answer, most people who know the game and most of the cricketers, of course, will say the answer is yes, he deserves his place in the Indian cricket team. He has been picked, of course, to open the batting. And Shikhar Dhawan will want to silence his critics because he is also an instinctive sort of player, and he's also a big confidence player. Once he has a few runs under his belt, you know that he will come good no matter what the format.
Yeah, in fact, even in South Africa, we saw that he came back strongly in the one-day series after seeing that dip of form. So he's one man who believes in his capabilities, and he's lucky that the team management fully backs him, right from Ravichandran to Virat Kohli.
Absolutely. He's got the full support of both captain and coach, and he will obviously want to make the most of it. Now, we've seen Shikhar Dhawan's form dipping in other formats as well, but he's always managed to bounce back and silence his critics. He would want to do this as well on this tour, which is a very, very important tour for India. But Shikhar's not the only man to watch out for today. Also, a lot of people would want to see how Rahul does. Now, Rahul, of course, will perhaps bat at number 3 for India. It's very important for him to continue sort of his good form because he had a good limited over series against England. Remember, he scored that T20 international century against the English as well. But he is someone who, of course, will want to show that he can come good in all formats. He was a Test player to begin with and then proved his critics wrong by doing very well in limited overs format as well. But he would, of course, want to cement his place in the Test side when it comes to the Indian team as well.
There's one thing I would like to add about him that, he started off on such a, great note. He always looked good, but he would make those silly mistakes, and then just get out at the time when he would be looking to score go up the 50 mark.
Well, that's the sort of rush of blood thing that you do get to see sometimes in youngsters, Sanjeev. But the good thing about Rahul is that he's a very, very quick learner. He's learned what he should not do, and that is perhaps a bigger lesson to learn than learning what you should do on the cricket field. He's learned that, and he's shown that he can be a handful for most opposition teams. He had a good IPL season and a good limited series against England, and of course would want to wrap it up with a very good showing in the Test series as well.
Akash, we'd also like to wrap up your final thoughts on the way the Test match has gone so far.
Well, the way the Test match, only one day old, of course, but the way the Test match has gone so far, it's proved that all the hype and the anticipation surrounding this Test series before it began, it proves that it was well justified because what we've seen on day 1 itself is so much drama, so much action already. Runs being scored, India taking so many wickets, and now it's very, very important for India to come out on day 2 and capitalize on the momentum that they gained on day 1. And if they can do that, then we're in for a very, very interesting Test series.
Yeah, it's been a seesaw on day 1, not knowing fully well which team is going to take control. So that's how it's been so far. Akash, thank you so much for joining us, and do keep watching the Times of India for live updates.